Okay, we're back again. It is Atlanta Discuss. You know it. Every Friday, we come with something that reverberates with everybody. Like last week, we spoke about the Jollof war in South Africa. Yes, which one is the best Jollof? So that means we go everywhere. Cultural, economical, we deal with it. They are still on it. What's his name? The 2G is on it to South Africa. It's going to be sometime in November. So the Jollof war is on. But today, we're going to something that's also very, very special. Yeah, everybody says we talk politics all the time. Yeah, politics is important, but we need to know more about what is happening to the youth. The youths are the leaders of tomorrow. How do we apply the youths in the way things are going? Everybody knows the world has changed. There's nothing we're doing now that is not technologically influenced. We need to see how the youth are being empowered technologically, especially in countries like Nigeria and the continent of Africa. How we prepare them for future. We've already seen, I'm sure a lot of us have seen in Chinese curriculum, things children are doing, especially in animation, and the cyber world. It's just unbelievable. So today we're looking at integrating technology into youth development. And we have a fantastic guest. Our guests are always very fantastic. We have Oladele Dada John. Oladele Dada John, welcome to Atlanta Discuss.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here with you on this program, this amazing channel.
Thank you. Now, Oladele is obviously a techpreneur. So, I mean, I'm never going to bring somebody here that's not vast in tech, a techpreneur with a proven track record of co-founding 2 successful ventures in the tech software and fintech sector. I think you've sold one, right? You told me, yeah.
Yeah.
So transition from a creative designer to chief marketing officer. I'm currently serving as chief partnership officer in one of his ventures. Demonstrated expertise in developing user-friendly website, leading creative projects, driving business growth through strategic partnership. A dynamic leader with a history of optimizing stakeholder relationship and marketing positioning. He's helped with the Mimico campaign in strategy and analysis. So he knows what it is. He's a teacher. He teaches people. He empowers people. And he's not a very old person like that. I'm not going to ask him what he's doing. But he's doing very well for you. He's a fantastic guy. So Oladele, welcome to Atlanta Discuss once again.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So let's go for the jugular like we always do. Tell me, the tech ecosystem, how the present economy, how is it affecting the productivity among the youth, the tech ecosystem in Nigeria?
Well, for me, I feel that the only thing I feel that is quite better with our economy is a little bit improvement in our power sector, where you have to actually pay through your nose to have a very good electricity. That's when they say band A, and some of us make jest and say, oh, some people are on band Z. Basically, the economy of this country has actually let me say the situation of this country had actually affected the tech ecosystem. A lot of tech startups are packing up. A lot of them are selling, and while some are downsizing staff capacity. And it's all boils down to not being able to service operational cost again. Imagine like, you service the office with generators every time, and there's probably not good electricity, and you buy fuel for almost 1,300. And imagine that you buy like almost 40 liters of that to service your office, let's say like a 4-bedroom duplex of an office or 4-bedroom apartments, and you buy like, let's say you even buy like 20 liters, and that's almost roughly about 30,000 or so per day that you'll be spending. And if you are doing like 30,000 per day and you come to office for 20 days, that's almost 600,000. And before it wasn't like that. So I feel that the present economy of the country, or the present situation of the country, has affected the tech system and affected productivity a lot. People who used to learn tech skills before do not even have interest in learning tech skills, because they look at, oh, after I learn the tech skills, where do I end up working? Who is going to employ me? There is no job creations in this country like before. Instead of a job creation system to keep growing, it's probably like decreasing. Thank you.
Oh wow, that's not good to hear. So how do we bridge the digital divide and ensure youth have access to technology?
Well,
I know this. Sorry, I'm sorry to. I know there's problems you said is there, power and all that. But how do we bridge that digital divide and make the youth have access to modern day technology, IT wise?
So I think the Minister of Youth is quite doing well.
Mm,
I say Minister, yeah, Minister of Youth is quite doing well. I know that they are putting a program to train about 2,000 plus people. I saw it recently, and you also have to give it to the Minister of Information and Communications. That's Bosun, Dr. Bosun. I think he's doing very very well with the 3MTT. I'm not a politician. I don't belong to any party, but when I see things that's quite good, initiatives that are quite good, I try to talk about them and I try to give a thumbs up for them. I feel one of the major ways that we can bridge the gap in this present economy is to have a lot of tech hubs, encourage people, look at a model whereby you could feed people, give them stipends to actually learn tech skills, not the other way around that they have to pay. And at the end of the day, they pay, they learn the tech skills, and they don't have a place to work. And I feel that the whole world is going IT related. Like now, you know that there's AI. A lot of people are building different things to ease manpower. And one of the very good things that we could literally do now is basically like let's create a hub for people who are willing or interested in learning tech skills and pay them to learn that tech skills, give them food, just like yeah, cohabiting them for like 3, 4, 6 months. And after they are done with the training, you can actually link them up with government office to go and work with, link them up with private sectors who can be partners with the federal government, and they can absorb these people to start working for them as interns, while some of them grow from interns to becoming full-time workers. Thank you.
oh wow. So let's talk about curriculum. Curriculum. Let's look at secondary school. I mean, I'm sure when you were in secondary school, you didn't do too much computer related. I did not, clearly, I'm sure. First time I saw one was in the university and it used to be Pascal, COBOL, Fortran, those extreme things.
Fortran 99, Fortran 77.
Yeah. So what do you think should be done? Yeah, sorry. What do you
Yeah,
think
I think
should be done about the curriculum for now, at least from secondary school level? Because I know countries like India, we attach too much importance to university education. In India, there's a lot of importance they attach to vocational education, hands-on stuff, and all that. Most of those Indian geniuses, they didn't go to university, you know. So a lot of them have this foundational. So what do you think should be done about the curriculum? Let's start from secondary school.
okay, fine, thank you. I tell people that let's not deceive ourselves. This is Nigeria. This is not UK. This is not India. This is not China. There are things that cannot work here. It's difficult to say that you want to start teaching a child robotics in Nigeria
Mm.
from scratch. And at the end of the day, when you teach the child robotics, where does he want to practice? I once saw a child that made a car that was moving. With the likes of Nod, with the likes of Innocent, would they employ that guy? No. Would they like encourage him to probably, maybe yes, to an extent, but just because we don't even have a functional system in this country. So let me give you an instance. I am not trying to advertise for anybody, but we have the likes of Nord in Nigeria. We have the likes of Innocent in Nigeria. Are our governments even patronizing those brands? Would they not prefer to buy a Toyota or buy a Kia from outside the country? Are you getting? And if you're putting a curriculum in some of these children's stuffs, by the time they learn, they get to secondary school, they learn, undergraduate too, they learn, where do they want to work?
Mm.
It's all bent down to job creation. I'm not stupid.
Mm.
I'm just telling you what it
Mm.
looks like. Oh,
Mm.
I want my child to learn robotics in secondary school. I want my child to learn data science. I want them. Where are they going to work? government officials will prefer to do their to do their writing on papers than say that I want to use Excel to tabulate things.
Mm.
You probably want to pass a file from office
Mm.
than stating that you want to probably use, you want to automate it. There is a clock in and clock out timing in my in my office, whereby when you come in the morning, automatically it sends a message to who your HOD is that this is the time you came in. Will government officials allow that work?
Mm.
Will people in this public sector, they will say, oh, I am old, I am in my 40s, I'm in my 50s. This is how it was during Abacha's time. This is how it was during MK Abiola's time. Is it going to work? So adding the curriculum is not a bad thing, but it is so discouraging that after these children go through this curriculum and actually try to follow that curriculum to as an undergraduate, when they finally graduate and they are done with the NYC, where do they want to work? Thank you.
Oh, wow, wow. So are you saying that we should not bother putting those things in the curriculum?
I'm not saying that they should not,
Mm.
but to an extent, I just feel that it's a waste of time. I
Wow.
just feel because you also look at the population range, how many people are in Nigeria, how many children do we have? I think I was looking at one statistics then saying that we are one of the countries that have a lot of children out of school. Do we even have governments, or do we have leaders who are going to push that they should buy equipment to train these children genuinely and not embezzle the money? Because if you are going to train some of these children on robotics and you're going to train them data science, you're going to train them web development, oh, okay, let's not use technology alone, shoemaking and all those other stuffs. Are they willing to invest in the equipment that would be used to train these children? Are they willing to invest in monitoring the growth of these children? Because there's another thing to learn, there's another thing to also do follow-up.
Mm.
I don't know if you understand what I'm
Yeah, I
saying.
understand. I
If
understand.
you put it, it's easier to put it in the curriculum. Okay, let me give you an instance. I went to a public school. We are like 400 students. They made it compulsory for us to learn data science, and we have learned data science. Where do we want to work? Where do you want to practice that data science for 400 students?
Mm. Oh, wow.
Who is going to employ them? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, let me just support what you said. Well, when I was in my younger days in secondary school, my school, I built a grammar school. We had metal work and woodwork, fantastic facilities at that time. And I know that one of it was a WIAC. You can do those exams in WIAC. But in
Yeah.
the state at that time, I don't think there were up to three, at top five schools that had enough facility, that kind of thing. So we did a lot of metal work, we did a lot of woodwork, we made chairs, fantastic thing. We had good teachers, but those things come to naught. We come to nothing, eventually, because these guys don't take it to a higher level. There's nothing you take to it. Nobody's going to employ them, and especially if you end up being an artisan, and the artisans don't learn the technologically. Because in school, then we had real equipment that the roadside guys didn't have. You understand? I really like metal work, and
Mm.
some of the knowledge I got then I still apply today. So I appreciate what you're saying, but we're not going to give up. I mean, you are doing it despite all those challenges. You're doing it. I know it's tough. You're doing it. Let's talk about program and design. What type of technologically based programs are most effective for youth development?
Well, I still feel that there are new things that people are learning.
Mm.
They tell you they are going into Web3 and
Mm.
all those stuffs, but there are still core things that you probably have to actually understand.
Mm.
You understand? I'm sure that if you're a PHP developer and you're probably like doing web dev, you also have to learn some other things like Laravel, Angular, and a lot of things like that. I feel that there are a lot of technologies that you can use in this period to do a lot of things. For instance, let me give you an example. This is not like a programming stuff, but let me speak about data science. Who feel that data science is just all about using Excel to collate form? No, you can use Python, by a lot of things to analyze and to plot things out. The same Excel that you are saying that all you just do is tabulate everything. You can also use that same Excel to tabulate a lot of things. There is SQL. And let me also speak about graphic design. For instance, too, there are a lot of things. While growing up, it used to be CorelDRAW for everybody. If I'm right, everybody says CorelDRAW, Fireworks. But today, I don't even think that a lot of people use Fireworks again. A lot of people now use Adobe Photoshop. People now use Illustrator. Some people don't even want to stress themselves. All they use now is Canva. They just wake up and they use Canva. You understand what I'm saying? So there are a lot of, I don't want to give him misinformation, but there are a lot of things, a lot of softwares that you can see online, or a lot of programming languages that you can learn, depending on your capacity and how fast you are to learning. You understand what I'm saying? Some people want to learn UI UX, which they do with Figma, which they are product designers. Some people want to learn front end, which you could do with HTML5, do the normal HTML, use brackets to designs. Some people want to do backends, whereby they do like PHP, Laravel, Java, and a lot of things like that. So there are a lot of things, and it's now depending on which particular field you want to go into. You understand what I'm saying? So for my field, I'm basically now majored on branding, and front end. So I can speak well of my field, but I cannot speak well of the back end very well. So I do not want to mislead people, but I know that there are a lot of things that you can learn, either you're a back end developer or you're a front end, and it doesn't stop to that because new things keeps coming out. You see, as we are talking like this, one guy somewhere, probably in New York, in Indian or something, is working on another programming language that will start solving a new thing, and you would probably not know. So that's just it. And you might wake up to it tomorrow and they tell you that there's a new programming language.
Okay, clearly India is a hub for IT, technology and all that. So let me ask you, from your perspective, from your point of view, what are they doing differently that we are not doing in Africa, for example?
I feel that a lot of our leaders don't believe in the youths. They don't believe in um, investing in talents. They don't believe in that. And one very good thing that you need to do in Nigeria is you need to believe in a lot of youths. I know some of the youths are actually messed up one way or the other, but they are still good ones. You've seen me on Twitter. You've seen I share resources with people on Twitter, and you've seen a
That's how I
lot of
got to know you. That's how I knew you.
yeah, and over the last 5 years, I can assure you that I've shared resources to more than 100,000 people, and trained about 20,000 people physically within the last 5 years. And one thing I can tell you is some of these people will train, will try to link them with job opportunities, to startups, to different companies around us. If uh, if our government can also do that same thing, make it like an open space, let people learn as much as what they want to learn. And when they are done learning, give them job opportunities, link them with startups, pass a law, do like a training, and make sure that at least a startup company employs one or two people trained from these government hubs or private, or we can also partner with private organizations, do private hubs where people learn skills, and make sure that a startup in a year must have like 2-3 interns from those people who can practice what they have learned. And from those interns is you now pick the ones that you feel that can be given full job opportunity. If you probably give one out of those 3 interns job opportunity, and about 100 companies are doing that in Nigeria, that means you have created another 100 set of breadwinners for the country, or for their family rather. And those people, those 100 will be able to actually fend for some people in the family with whatever job they've gotten. Thank you.
So the Indians are
And that's and that's one thing you will never take from Indians. Well, I have worked with 2-3 of them. And one thing I noticed about them is when you have a job and you want to give them, they tell you that they have someone who they can recommend you to who can do that. That means they have someone who is close to them, who they want to bring into the project to actually solve that particular project, that solve that problem that you're solving. And that means it's creating, not only creating job opportunity for themselves alone, it's also creating another job opportunity for another IT guy that is close to them. Thank you.
Yeah, I see a lot of that here. I mean, I've seen a situation where an Indian wants to do a job interview and people help them even do the interview, you know. And I've also seen on the job when a new guy comes in, he's not very experienced. The other Indians, they help out. So now let's go back to my next question. We're going to go into health and well-being. But before that, why is it so hard for Africans to help themselves? You know, I know you're doing it. That's why I'm asking. You've trained well over 20,000. I can corroborate that because I follow you. I've seen what you do in real time. Why is it so hard to do things like the Indians? Is it that they love themselves more than we love ourselves, or what? Why is it so hard? You know, because it's integration really empowering. Like you said, you talk to somebody in India, you want to bring somebody else on the project and all that. Why are we not doing the same thing?
Well, for us, in Nigeria, I feel that a lot of people are underpaid, and they feel that instead of giving this job to this person, let me collect the job of a front end, branding, and back end together. So if so if I'm supposed to be paid 1 million naira, for instance, I want to collect like 2 million, 2.5, 3 people's job. And at the end of it, you might even find it so difficult to deliver on time. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So
I do.
I feel the struggles happening in the country is part of what is causing the problem. For instance, if there is probably a good economy, it might help other people to actually want to help other people too. But because people are hustling, we are all hustlers in Nigeria, and people are hustling, they probably prefer to just, oh, okay, no, let me do this. That is why you probably let me even make you laugh. You see a minister, they say Minister for Works, Environment, and they pack everything together, which it could be minister. You can make it like Minister of Works. You can make Minister of Power. You understand what I'm saying? Do Minister of
combine everything together.
Yeah, instead of combining everything, let other people flourish too. If you don't give chance and opportunity to the next person beside you, you literally would not know how good the person is. But I can't blame a lot of youths. I can't blame a lot of people in the country. The country is extremely tough. It's not just the time of President Tinubu. It's not just the time of a former president, President Buhari, or President Jonathan. It's been something that's been in existence for a long time from our parents, and they will say, oh, I prefer to like do like 3-4 jobs, IT wise also, and instead of allowing another person to it. So it's kind of draws back, and it's not going to help us as Africans if we cannot be open to help each other and give. When you know that you're a UI person, concentrate on UI. Let another person who is a front end person concentrate on front end. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So there's no doubt that we have the manpower in Nigeria. I mean, there's a lot of poverty, a lot of
Yeah,
people.
we have over 200 million people. So, and I'm sure that out of that 200 million people, there are a lot of people who are IT oriented.
Okay. So what do you think the government should be doing that they are not doing right now?
I think I stated it at the beginning of this stuff
Yeah,
is
but the reason I asked, based on what you just said about
yeah,
government.
let's create hubs in all
Mm,
the 36 states.
okay, I like that.
I know that
Tech ops.
yes,
Mm,
I know that some people are trying. I know the Minister of Information is trying, and I know some other people. I know about a certain Senator Abiru also in Lagos State that built something. I can't remember the place. But I've seen something in one of the eastern states of a man who built a tech hub or so, and it looks like the normal public secondary school. Those are not hubs. Let's do things that are world-class standard. This country has money. We keep borrowing every day, and we don't see what they spend that money on. Why not you channel some of these stuffs into building hubs? Another thing that we can do is our government can partner with private sectors, big organizations. Oh, Tony Elumelu Foundation, or let's say S. Odin, Zenith Groups, Dangote, and a lot of big. So give these people, oh, let me take some tax off you. Don't pay this so amount of tax, but build a world class tech hub in a particular state. You understand what I'm saying? That could take like cohort like 5,000 to 10,000 people in a year. Do it in every state. At least I am sure that in each state there are more than 3, 4, 5 multi-billionaires who are also willing that they can do something for the country. Let's take off some tax from them and let them use that money for tax to build those infrastructures. And I'm telling you that a lot of tech uh, people in Nigeria, they will flourish and there will be a lot of improvement. And just like I think someone said commodification of cassava one time.
yeah, I heard that.
Remember, you can also commodify talents in Nigeria. You can build some of these guys, train them well, and do exporting to other European countries or other Asian countries to go and work as tech people, and you take the money as like you're transferring Vinicius from Real Madrid to Al Ahly. You
Yeah,
understand what I'm saying? It might be
yeah.
something that could actually also make money for us in this country. Thank you.
But do you think? I mean, everything you said looks good. I mean, it's these are steps that have to be taken. But do you think, in your own opinion, do you think those in government know what to do? I mean, it could be that they don't know what to do, but do you think they do know what to do, or they just choose not to do it?
When you probably put, I'm not going to mention names, but when you probably put someone who does not even have an idea
Hmm.
in a particular post, who did not even read something similar to that,
Hmm.
and is now a minister or a commissioner or something, things would not work. Imagine minister for, let's say, for instance, imagine maybe commissioner for information and IT or technology in a certain state, read read pure biology or biological science. Please, how is this supposed to function?
Hmm.
Imagine commissioner for health, or let's say commissioner for works in a particular state is a medical doctor. Please, how is this supposed to function? You need to start putting people who understand whatever we are doing. You are seeing what the Minister of Information and Technology had done in a while. Basically, I'm not saying that I'm praising or something, but basically because of he has that IT background. You understand? So imagine he was a former governor of a state who was a lawyer that was put as Minister of Information and Technology. Please, what is he going to achieve?
Hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? So
We
that
need to put square pegs and square holes.
yes, so that's basically that's how our IT system or technology system can rise up again from the grave and start competing with other countries like India, China, and
And
US.
Yeah. I mean, it's good you're saying it. That's one of the things we try and do here to propagate it because a lot of them do watch it, you know. So,
We definitely should use
mm,
Singapore as a case study.
mm.
You've seen their airport.
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
You've seen it, and a lot of guys that are working for them are indigenous of the country, citizens of the countries, not external people. You understand what I'm saying? But in a country whereby you can't even trust your own citizens to get things done
Mm.
and for capacity development, it's something so bad, very, very bad.
Let's talk about health and well-being, IT wise. You know, I know people always, I always tell my kids, you know, too much screen time and all that, you know, and that. So, what are the implications of screen time and digital media on youth physical and mental well-being?
Well, for me, I feel that it's not good to stay glued to the screen too much. There should be time that you rest. But I told you just like today, I'd
Mm.
not slept because I had a meeting overnight and I had other things that I wanted to achieve at a particular point. So sometimes you'll be glued to your laptop and you want to meet up with targets. Sometimes there's excitement when you just start coding or when you just start doing graphics or when you just start analyzing data. You want to make sure that your parents are seeing you that, oh, our money is not wasting. You understand what I'm saying? And that's basically another thing you could look at. But uh staying too much on screen could affect your eyes. You might start having aches, and if you're sitting too much too, can actually give you back pain. So I've studied it, and what I do is, or if I sit for a while, I want to stroll around the apartment or the compound or the estate and stretch my body and stretch my leg and come back. So while you are trying to achieve your goals, I also feel that you should be cautious of your health because let me use it. Now person wey dey alive go enjoy money wey they work for. You understand? So there's a lot of effects that it can cause. I am not a medical doctor,
Mm.
but the obvious ones I know is it can cause back aches, it can cause your eye to start bringing water and cause ache, and it can give you a lot of headache if you probably do not have time to sleep and rest your body very well. Thank you.
Oh,
But
fantastic.
medical doctor will do the whole stuff very well.
Analysis, yeah. I just had to ask that, you know. So, I mean, you've heard of cyberbullying, you know, you've heard of cyberbullying. Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, how can organizations, I know you run one or two, you just said you sold one. How can you address issues of cyberbullying online? How can organization, government, how can we tackle that? Because it's a big problem all over the world. And
I think for me,
mm,
I don't see our government doing much about that.
mm,
Just say someone posts something online, posts his opinion online, our government officials just pick the person up, which is not supposed to be like that. And I feel that private organizations and private entrepreneurs need to come together. Even citizens need to come together and see a way that you can stop cyberbullying. Only one person cannot do it. An organization cannot do it. It requires us having one voice. Let me give you an instance. Argentina against Saudi Arabia. I like to make illustration. Saudi Arabia, uh, Argentina scored one. Saudi Arabia scored two. And Saudi Arabia won. And everybody was shouting, "Where's Messi? Where's Messi?" And those guys went back and sat down that, see, we're a world-class set of players. We need to reunite or unite ourselves together for a common goal. What is the common goal? To win the World Cup. And they were a generation that they felt that if they probably don't win it now, it might be difficult for the likes of Lionel Messi, Di Maria to win it. And they came together. And at the end of the World Cup, they were at the end of the tournament, they were worthy winners. So what am I saying is we also have to come together to fight cyberbullying. If you are waiting for the government to fight it, it would not work. You as an individual should correct the next person to you that, oh, this thing that you are doing, it's not good. This thing this that you did is not good. Correct yourself. And that same person, if he or she listens to correction, if another person beside he or she is doing same thing, it can literally correct the person. She can literally correct the person. So it has to be a joint effort. Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about employment and economic empowerment. So how can technology support financial literacy and say economic empowerment among youths generally? I mean, you don't have to be. What I'm trying to say is that okay, fine, you don't have to be in the tech ecosystem, but maybe you're a vulcanizer, you're youth, you're educated at least doing some form of business. So how can technology support financial literacy and economic empowerment?
Well, technology has helped supported a lot of people financially. Let me give you an instance. You can be a vulcanizer and you have a POS store.
Mm.
That POS will not be there without a technology behind it.
Mm.
So he has created another source of income for you. Technology can help you analyze how much you are making in a month and how much you have lost as a restaurant owner. There are new technologies now with AI that you don't even need to paint your wall. I don't know if you've seen the machine recently. It helps you paint your wall.
Mm.
Also, there are technologies that we have now that all you just have to do is when you draw, it helps you cut the clothes, do everything you want to do on the clothes, and you start selling. So technology has helped. Technology is not software alone that you have to code. The machines, the equipment that you see that solves a lot of things is technology. And I am looking forward to Nigeria where, looking forward to it in Nigeria where you will see AIs, machine and all those stuffs, powering a lot of things. You understand what I'm saying? AI stuff's doing a lot of write-ups for us. AI stuffs like, let's say, okay, let me put it like this. Let's say robots visiting people, delivering stuffs, using a drone to deliver stuffs in Nigeria. I know that they do it in Dubai now, but we are looking at a place that you will just order something from, let me say, Child Egg, and it's not a rider that will bring it, and it's probably a drone that will bring it. Thank you. So technology can help change a lot of things in the ecosystem.
Still on policy and advocacy, that's what we're talking about. What are the implications of all these emerging technology? Because you mentioned AI, so I'm talking AI, blockchain. So what are the implications of this emerging technology on youth development policy? I mean, how does it affect? Because you said one of the first questions you answered was when I spoke about curriculum, you said these things are not that they don't make sense. That even if you teach people in school, where will they work with it and all that? On the other hand, you said again that okay, if private people and government can create this tech ecosystem, these tech hubs all over the place. I mean, the way I see it, maybe those hubs will accommodate those people that learn those things in those secondary school or university. So, but what are the implications of emerging technologies? For example, AI, blockchain on youth development policy right now? Because you just spoke about it. That's why.
Oh, well, AI is here to stay and is going to make people sit up, especially youths. And I'm telling you that if I employ you to do something and you are not willing to do it very well, and I use AI to sort the issues, let me give you an instance. I want you to do content creations for me, write a storyline for me on an advert, this. A lot of people on an advert, a lot of people might probably not get to work and say, well, I will do it next 2 days. I'll do it, like procrastinating. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But AI, you could just go on ChatGPT and type, oh, I need an advert. Can you give me an idea of a write-up of an advert that I can do? Can you give me oh, I need a banner. Let me upload. This is what I want on the banner. That is what I want on the banner. And it solves this. AI can be a blessing to entrepreneurs. Why AI can be a cost to staffs, because it probably help them reduce their staff strength. Now people probably say that, let me have 5 staffs and ChatGPT. and I'll be able to solve my problem. You understand what I'm saying, sir? So I feel that AI, the blockchain, everything, it's very good for the technology. It's very good for entrepreneurs as a whole. But to an extent, it brings bad effects to some of our people who are staffs, because a lot of them will end up losing their jobs because AI will replace them. Thank you.
What are the professions that you foresee that will be impacted by AI? I mean, I know already some parts of the United States, people talk to AI for AI is taking some lawyers' job. I'm not too sure about the
Even therapists.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
Can you give me a list of professions that you think will be affected by AI technology in the future?
I feel that every profession,
Mm,
every single one. And I'm going to give you an instance.
mm.
I'm sure that you've seen videos of robots serving at restaurants.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
I'm sure you've seen videos of robots acting like ushers and directing people.
Mm,
Now you can drive a Tesla car
mm,
without you holding the steering. Yeah, I'm sure that we are going to come to a phase that you are going to be on a plane and there'll be no pilots.
Yeah, but there's already autopilots. And
Yeah.
I was in the marine industry, so I know that some ships are operated on autopilot also.
So you just have to control it. So a lot of people, I saw a medical doctor recently who was like miles, kilometer away, and it was using a robot to operate
Oh wow.
on someone from a very far. So a lot of people will lose their jobs. It might be even including me.
So how do you advise people to prepare for this scenario of, this technological scenario where everybody will lose their job? What should the doctor do? What should this do? What should someone like you do to prepare, as you know that this period is going to come from all indication? You understand?
So, one thing I like about human beings, we guys are dogged.
Mm,
And what do I mean by that is there was a time it was Fortran 77. There was a time it was probably like PHP. There was a time it was CorelDRAW 2.0. But now we have higher versions. Who are the people controlling those higher versions or using them? It's still human beings.
mm,
So a lot of us will still be in the game. There's something, you can change your wife,
mm,
you can change your girlfriend,
mm,
you can change your husband, you can change your job, you can change a lot of things. The only thing people probably don't change is probably football clubs
mm,
that they get loyal to.
mm,
But one thing is, why I stated that is, at a particular phase of our lives, we are going to work with the next changes that is coming up. I'm sure that we'll thrive. So the people that did robots, did stuff, never knew like 50 years ago that they were going to create robots.
mm. So,
Now I saw something recently that you're not allowed to preserve your body and your brain for the next 50 years. I think it's a German company. It pays you like about $200,000 to present your body, to preserve your body, because they feel that human beings will come out from their grave in the next 200 years.
oh,
Or
wow.
probably there'll be a solution that they will use someone's brain, they will use art. You understand what I'm saying? So I feel that there will be a solution. We'll definitely find a way. See, human beings will be human beings, sir. We will find a way to actually like come out of any new circumstances that is coming. And though some people will lose their jobs, but at the same time, the people who are smart enough, they will um, go with the flow of the new technology and see what they can do with it.
Okay, let's talk about Africa. I think I will narrow it down to West Africa. What are the countries in West Africa do you think they're doing well technologically vis-a-vis the youth in the tech ecosystem? Which countries you can rate them? Maybe not. I mean, who is number one? Who is two? Who is three? To the best of your knowledge in West Africa.
I don't think I know of any.
Uh, in
I,
Africa. What about Africa?
uh, You give it all to Rwanda.
I was going to say that.
I've been there. You give it to Kenya.
Hmm. I
Uh, you give it to a lot of East African countries, especially Kenya, Rwanda. Then you give a lot to Egypt.
Hmm.
You give a lot to Egypt. Those are the three top African countries on my head. Rwanda number one, Kenya number two. Then you give it to Egypt. They are doing
Well,
very well.
you've been to
Very.
Rwanda. So what are they doing that we're not doing? What is Paul Kagame
Uh,
and his people doing that we're not doing?
well, Rwanda is creating a hub for a lot of African startups.
Hmm.
Rwanda brings in people from other countries in Africa to come and thrive in their country. Kenya does the same thing. I'm not so sure of Egypt, but Kenya, Rwanda, you go there and you meet a lot of hubs, Microsoft, name it, Oracle, a lot. A lot of Nigeria co-founders or founders, their headquarters is in Rwanda.
Or Nairobi. I know there's some in Nairobi, Kenya.
Yeah, there's something in Nairobi, but a lot of them, there are easier laws and tax stuffs in some of these countries, and it helps them thrive a lot. So those are the countries that are in my head. But West African countries, I don't think I know of any.
Oh wow, wow, wow. Interesting. So I mean, having said all this, having said all this, do you think the way forward is to have the right leader? Because I mean, this program we discover a lot of politics, and I've spoken to a lot of professors, learned people, erudite scholars like always have, and they say that for Nigeria, the problem is political leadership. That if we have the right political leadership, that things will change. And Rwanda, like you said, is a fantastic example. Kagame has shown leadership, the airline, the country. I mean, a lot of it. So, do you think that if Nigeria has the right leadership, everything will change? Or you think some have said the people are also the problem, that our leaders are a reflection of who we are? What do you think? What do you think is holding us back?
It's just a simple answer.
Hmm.
Do you think Nigerians will unite to vote for the right leaders?
Mm. Why can't they unite for the right leaders, considering how much they've suffered? Why? I'm asking you.
Spent over 30 years of my life,
Mm.
and they said that we are the future of tomorrow.
Mm.
And they probably at the same time tell us that Nigeria will be better, Nigeria will be better.
Mm.
It's either getting worse day by day, hunger here and there, people suffering. I am sure that the leaders are not even looking at technology space or something. They are probably looking like putting food on people's table.
Rice. Rice.
I am telling you. So
Very
I was seeing something recently, and they said one person was sharing. I don't want to mention name. Was sharing rice, was sharing bread, and I was asking, or let me even give you an instance. A pastor was preaching for people to accept Jesus as their Lord and Savior.
Mm.
They were not accept. Nobody was on the queue. So also, if you tell people to come and learn tech skills and line up now, you won't see anybody on the queue.
Mm.
But when the pastor started sharing food, bread, the queue was so long. People started coming. So
That means there's poverty in the land. And
there
when
is poverty in the land. So to even think about leaders, you have to track the poverty mentality in the land first. And when it comes to election day, instead of voting for the right leaders, the set of people who have not eaten will be bought with food, or either be bought with cash. So how do we want to get the right leaders in Nigeria? Thank you.
Interesting. Wow. Oladele Dada John, you've spoken very well like a techpreneur. I mean, with people like you, the future is bright. I'm very hopeful, and I'm sure there are a lot of people like you. I've seen quite a couple, and I'm happy you're not in Rwanda and you're not in Nairobi. You have decided to stay here. I mean, your CV is a big one. If I'd read it, probably would have taken a long time, but it's important to add that you are doing a yeoman's job. Keep teaching people. I
Thank
mean,
you.
not 20,000 people. So that's how I met you on Twitter. I just saw what you were doing,
Yeah.
you were sharing information. I was very impressed, and I like, this is a lot of money this guy is sharing out for people. That shows you're passionate about what you do. we'll keep in touch. We'll probably want to do more with you, especially what you
Yeah,
said.
one of the major goals is basically not to
Mm,
make money from this. Let's
mm,
help people, especially men. And
okay.
I'm looking at starting something with which I am looking at people to support. A
Mm,
lot of men have problems.
mm,
We have a lot of us are breadwinners, and
mm,
people just feel that, oh no, it's only women that has problem.
mm.
Men don't have problem. These are not meant to be fixed. And I feel that helping these men learn tech skills, bringing food to their table, can actually make them become a better version of themselves.
Mm.
So it's another thing that we are looking at, a version to help men strictly to learn tech skills.
Interesting. That with Atlanta discuss our thoughts align in that area, not just in Africa. That the Nigerians, the Ghanaians in the diaspora, immigrants that been doing menial jobs for a long time. Some will want to learn. So I'm sure we're going to partner in that in the nearest future to teach people, open the doors for them into the tech of the world is technology. There's no doubt about it. Everything is changing. So we just have to adapt. Oladele Dada, thank you for coming to Atlanta Discuss. Thank you so
Thank-
much. This is your first
thank-
time. It's definitely not going to be your last time.
Uh,
I like what you say. I like what you've done. We're impressed with it, and we're going to take it to the next level. So we're already partners in progress. To all
thank you.
our viewers in the 7 continents of the world, let's start with the 3 A's: Australia, Africa, Antarctica, Asia. Thank you for your support. And to the Europeans, God bless you all. North and South America, consistent as a Northern Star. We love you all. Thank you. Next week, Friday, we're going to come with something that reverberates. What we do now, we talk politics still, but we want to try and spread the joy. Today, everybody has listened to Oladele Dada and Oladele Dada John. They're going to hear from us very soon how he wants to help, teach, empower in Africa, in America, wherever you may be, you can be taught. That's one of the advantage of technology. See, now I'm in the United States, in Nigeria, and we communicate almost every day. So keep your fingers crossed, stay tuned, and see you next week. Thank you, Oladele.
Thank you very much.